We are delighted that Stephen Coyle, who built the AFL-CIO Housing Investment Trust over 26 years as CEO into a great organization, is this year's Cushing-Gavin Award Management recipient. Steve stepped down as CEO about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Steve estimates that during his career, he's delivered over 600 projects all over Boston, other cities, the nation, and internationally. I think it's fair to say that Massachusetts is very fortunate that Steve Coyle came our way. During Steve's tenure at HIT, in Massachusetts alone, Steve directed $578 million to 46 low to moderate income housing projects, resulting in 5,315 housing and healthcare units. Some of those projects were with the Archdiocese Office of Urban Planning. The total development cost overall was $1.6 billion, creating an estimated 1.7 billion union construction man-hours. Nationally, HIT underwrote 436 projects on Steve's watch that invested nearly $9 billion in 27 states, creating close to 100,000 housing units. And all that construction created union jobs, generating local, state, and federal taxes. Bringing the subject back to Boston, Steve's work at HIT was preceded by his 7 years leading the Boston Redevelopment Authority under Mayor Ray Flynn, who is here with us tonight. Could Mayor Flynn put his hand up? Great man. I was talking to architect Ed Roach yesterday, who was then Boston's Commissioner of Real Estate in the Flynn administration. And he said, one thing I loved about Ray Flynn as mayor is that he was looking for a big thinker like Steve to get things done, and then let him. Steve had the exact combination of talent, experience, and drive. He knew how to build a great team, great street sense, nothing fussy about him. Ray would call Steve every day and ask, how many ready today and how many are in the pipeline? When I mentioned this to Steve, he said, back then Ray and I were like Butch and Sundance. When the dust settled, Boston had 14,000 new housing units, a transformed Charlestown Navy Yard, and so much more. Ed concluded, it was like watching a brilliant field commander. I'd pick Steve to do any big or difficult project. The Labor Guild is proud to honor Steve Coyle with the 2018 Cushing-Gavin Management Award for excellence in labor management relations, for exemplifying integrity, professional competence, and an innovative collaborative spirit. He is a great developer and builder who improved the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, his labor investors, and partnering unions. And he did so with a dynamic vision and a personal dedication for the public good, an uncanny ability to move mountains again and again, and a special, unique flair all of his own. Steve, could you stand up and accept your award?
I woke up this morning without a voice, so I will be brief. 45 years ago, my Uncle Tommy brought me to meet with the building trades. He told them that I was going to be a developer. And he wanted the building trades to treat me well. And one of the guys there said, the nephew will be okay if he remembers one thing. Everything has to be wall to wall. So, even with my limited voice, I want to give a report card to all the people who were in that room, wherever they are now. I have spent 48 years developing in at least 40 American cities and all over the world. Completed 625 projects. 26 billion of development finance. 40 billion of economic activity. It created 425,000 jobs. And about 180,000 of those are on-site construction jobs. With my mentor, Ray Flynn, we did $11 billion worth of development back in the day. The economic impact is important. But this is what I want to say to Tommy Joyce, my uncle, Jack and Mark Flaherty, Jackie King. These are all my uncles, and they were all in the labor movement as labor officers in their unions. I want to say wherever I was during the 100,000 housing units, 85,000 affordable to low-income people, wherever we were, whatever we did, at the end of the day, every single project we did was wall-to-wall union. I think that demonstrates if you have good numbers, you don't need a voice. It's always a great pleasure to come home to Boston. And this is a great honor for me. I volunteered for Cardinal Cushing in 1968 to help develop affordable housing on church land. I would go to the parish to the last Mass on Sunday. The chancery would tell the Monsignor I was coming. I'd go to Mass, then I'd walk out after a cup of coffee, and the Monsignor would tell me, as you can see, Steve, we need the land for parking. So I went in to see the Cardinal. We gave our report, and I said, I think you need to create your own development corporation. And there was a gentleman there named Monsignor Lally. I don't know if any of you remember him. A dapper man who wore straw hats. And he said to me, we're going to do that. We're going to create the Office of Urban Planning, and a young priest named Mike Groden is going to head it. We worked together for 50 years, and we've helped finance some of those projects. And as you all know, Mike left us in January. But this much I know about Mike, all of you, this amazing group of people on this head stage, and also these honorees, remarkable people. Your dedication to social justice, to the rights of workers, to better communities, it inspires me. I cannot tell you how much I truly appreciate this award. And someday when my voice returns, I'll come back and tell you that the right way. So whenever I come back to Boston, and my first 9 brothers and sisters were born in Southie. I was born outside because our home was taken to build D Street. Could you imagine they destroyed the neighborhood to build D Street? Anyway, they were building housing for returning veterans. It opened in 1951. All the veterans had been housed by then. But in any event, I hear the refrain of Robert Louis Stevenson whenever I come home. Home is the sailor, home from the sea, and the hunter, home from the hill. Thank you.